not sure if this change was implemented because of a historical reason or for something else, but what I do know is it's a huge buff to the vehicle, and I'm surprised it hasn't gone up in battle rating. The change did happen quite a while ago, and it was to a vehicle called the Excelsior, which if you haven't heard of, that makes sense. It's quite an obscure vehicle that you don't see in the game very often. It's kind of a mix between a Cromwell and a Churchill, where you've got quite a lot of maneuverability and speed, but also a decent amount of armor. Prior to this change, I would have described the maneuverability as far superior to a Churchill, but not quite as good as a Cromwell, and now I'm not so sure about that, because the max speed was changed from 38 kilometers an hour to 48 kilometers an hour. I didn't play too many games, but one of the matches I played, I reached the capture point on Poland at the same time as the Pumas did. The reverse speed was also buffed from 2.26 kilometers an hour to 2.83 kilometers an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but as a percentage of total speed, it's quite significant. The Excelsior is one of those vehicles where it's got quite a weak cannon, but quite a fast reload rate. You can fire rounds every 5 seconds on an ace crew, but with only 103mm of penetration and no filler in the shell, it can be quite difficult to take down enemies efficiently. And it's often best to go for the barrel, particularly when you're fighting heavily armoured tanks like the KV. Use the reload being very fast to your advantage. What's nice about the tank as well is you've got smoke grenades and smoke shells, and plenty of them. So while the tank is quite weak when it comes to its reverse gear, you can use the smoke to withdraw from a situation. And as I said, with the 5-second reload, especially on the smoke on the cannon, obscure an area almost to the same effectiveness as one of the top tier tanks with their huge amount of smoke grenades. Anyway, there's not much more to it than that. And I'm curious to hear what you think about this change. And with that being said, subscribe!